Back at the airport today. This time we are heading to Michigan, Detroit to be exact. As usual, a direct flight out of Oklahoma City doesn't exist. So, welcome to St. Louis. However, don't get used to it because I got 10 minutes until my next plane boards to Michigan. So, quick stop in St. Louis. Hello, Detroit. All right, I made it to the hotel. This is a Holiday Inn Express, and it's a hotel. I'll give you the grand tour. They make Holiday Inns the same, whether you're in Detroit or wherever you are. Yep, there's a bathroom. There's a fridge, the usuals, and so many beds. What am I gonna do with all these beds? I bet that even turns into a bed too. Okie doke. Yep, it's a Holiday Inn. And hello, Detroit. I hope that was an exciting tour of a hotel room. I'm hungry, so I think we're gonna go eat somewhere. So I'm gonna see about that, and then figure things out. I should tell you what I'm doing here and what the point of this whole trip and what I'm going to Michigan for. So Stardock has invited me and a few others out to show some things off. Stardock, famous games they've made are Galactic Civilizations, Sins of a Solar Empire, and they've got 4 games they're supposed to be showing off to us today, or not today, but tomorrow, and giving us kind of a tour of the place and seeing what they have planned. I think it's kind of a smaller event, but it's mostly like strategy YouTubers, so I'm kind of excited to meet some of these folks. I've met a couple of them in other things, but there's a couple that I have watched for a long time, and they're going to be here. Check out this cool desk. They don't have this at Hyatt. Well, look at that. That's about it, but it's kind of exciting. Christy says I can sleep in a different bed every night. How convenient. This hotel, speaking of convenience, is literally a 2-minute walk to where Stardock is, so that's going to be a nice, easy walk. But anyway, I'm hungry. We're going to go eat.
We're in Detroit, so of course, pizza was on the menu for dinner tonight. After that, they took a few of us over to an arcade, an old-timey arcade with quarters and tickets. It's kind of a rare thing nowadays.
There we go.
My wife and daughter love these coin pusher ones. I'm no good at them, but that doesn't make them not addicting. After a couple hours and many quarters later, we cashed in and headed back to the hotel for the night.
The arcade had real coins and tickets. It's very exciting. And I cashed all my tickets in. And I want to show you my prizes. Okay, this was a lot of tickets. Ninja, a hedgehog, a pink dinosaur, big wins here, a green dinosaur, and a dinosaur egg that has this jelly-like stuff, which I don't know if that counts as a liquid. I'm not sure that's going to be able to go on a plane back home, but there's a dinosaur in there. Yep, that was quite the day at the old arcade. Day 1 is complete, and I'm tired, so I'm gonna head to bed. Tomorrow is basically everything. Get some breakfast, and then we head across the street for the thing to see whatever they're gonna show us, and we'll see what all there is. Good night. Good morning. It is event day, and first we're gonna get some hotel breakfast before we head down there. Not bad, not bad. We got pancakes, Got the usuals. Cowboy beans. I'm not sure what cowboy beans are. It's good.
Okay.
There we go, not bad. Corned beef hash, cowboy beans. All right.
As we make our way over to Stardock, I'll tell you a little bit about them, just in case you don't know who they are. Brad Wardell, who's the CEO, he's still CEO, started the company back in the early 90s with Galactic Civilizations. And since then, they've had a bunch of strategy games like Elemental, Fall Enchantress, Sins of a Solar Empire. They're also partnered with Oxide Games, the folks that made Aura. They're here today showing off Ashes of the Singularity 2. First thing here, we got a rundown on the company by Brad Wardell and how he started it all by loving Sid Meier's Civilization and wanting to make something like that but in space. He didn't know how to program, and after he picked up a How to Code in 30 Days book, he sat down and he made Galactic Civilizations. We saw a lot of him actually throughout the events, and of the events like this that I've done, normally the CEO is kind of hiding off in the background, even if they're even there. They're hiding off in the background, but he was very much present and available to talk to during the thing the whole time. After a bit more Stardock talk, we got a tour of the place, and then we got to play some games. They had 4 games to show us here, and with each one, the devs of that particular game would give us a rundown of what they were doing, what they were planning. And first up, we had Sins of a Solar Empire 2, and some new updates for it. Came out last year, but they are very much still working on it. They got plans for it, and we got to play around with some of the new stuff that they are working on right now. Next up, we got to Elemental Reforged, which is it's actually out now, but whenever we were doing this, it wasn't even announced yet. And it's in the old Elemental Fallen Enchantress type of games with that sort of Master of Magic style. Think of Civilization, but a fantasy style thing, turn-based strategy. I love this kind of stuff. After that, we got a sneak peek at a new game that they're working on. It's very early in development, and in fact, it doesn't even have a name yet. And I'm also not allowed to talk about it, so we'll have to skip that one for now. Finally, we had Ashes of the Singularity 2. This is their RTS that Oxide Games is making, and it's supposed to be coming out soonish. I was actually surprised how much I like this one. I used to love RTSs back when I was a kid, but it's been a long time since I've really played them much. I think part of the fun, though, was this is a good multiplayer game, and we got to play against each other. And that was it. That was the event. It went by super quick, but it was really a lot of fun. One thing worth mentioning, with each game we played, the devs seemed to be very interested and very open to our ideas. They would come by with each of us, ask us questions while we were playing, and constantly taking notes. And they genuinely seemed interested in our critiques and our questions. That was it. Stardocktober, as they called it, was complete. We had dinner at Brad Wardell's house, and then we were done.
Stardock Day is complete. Had a great time. It was a great event. There's, I think it's a big company, but it feels kind of like a small game studio with just a bunch of folks that like making games. You kind of feel that at the place. So I had a good time playing the games and learning about the process and all that. And then heading over to the CEO's house for dinner, and meeting him, and mostly, meeting with all the other YouTube folks. It's great. I love doing these things. But anyway, my time here is almost done. It's 10 p.m. back at the hotel. I am gonna head to bed because I got a flight tomorrow. Not too early, but I got a flight tomorrow to head home. Quick trip, but a fun trip. Anyway, bye, Michigan. Well, not yet. I'll tell you bye on the plane, but I'm going to bed.
Take off. So, one of the electric pumps is failed. Now I don't know why it's failed yet, but light came on. It stopped also pumping, and so can't go flying with 3 of 4. So we've got maintenance coming, but it's contract maintenance. So I'll just tell you, they don't belong to us because we don't have a big station here, and so it might take a few minutes to get them out here. As soon as he does it, I don't know, diagnostic, whatever maintenance guys do to go look at an electric hydraulic pump, then we'll find out what's going to happen to us and this airplane. So I don't know yet how. Once they get some A little bit of knowledge will cut you loose if it makes sense to dump you out of here or whatever you need. But if you just be patient with me, we'll find out here in a few minutes. You may use the potty, get up, stretch, whatever you want to do. All right? Questions? No questions.
How long is it going to take?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kidding.
Am I married to you?
I'm not having much luck with flights nowadays. Last one I was on that went out to Poland, someone had a stroke halfway through, and so we had to turn around, making me miss my connection. And this time, it was hydraulics. We pushed out, we taxied out, and we had to come back because of hydraulic problems. But it was only like an hour. It was late enough for me to miss my connecting flight, but Southwest Airlines was pretty quick to get me a new flight a little bit later. Hey, look at that. There's Chicago. Anyway, that's it. Thanks again, Stardock, for inviting me out. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.